Hi everyone, we are going to execute this particular program in our today's lab. So which is create a Java program to make a calculator using switch case to do arithmetic operations. What does this mean? You already know what is switch case. So it is just like switch case in C. It is similar to that. It's exactly same in Java too. So we need to write a Java program to make a calculator using switch case. So let's have a look at the program. So if you look at the program, so see here, my class name is calculator. So I have saved this particular file as calculator.java. So remember that this public class name and the file name should always be same. So now, what is this import java.util.scanner? So this is just like in C what we do hash include stdio.h. So, but why are we doing this? Because scanner is an inbuilt class. Scanner is an inbuilt class which can be used to read users input. That is, in C we do scanf. So similar to that, we have, if we want to do something in Java, we need to have this scanner class imported first, and then we are creating a calculator class, and inside it I have main function. Inside main function, I said the scanner is a class. I am creating an object of scanner here. Okay, so this is how we create object of any class. After that, everything is pretty straightforward. So if you look at this, we are just printing simple calculator, then we are giving options: 1 addition, 2 subtraction, 3 multiplication, 4 division, and finally we print enter your choice, and we need to take input from user now. So we created scanner object here, and we are using that scanner object. Next int is a method inside scanner object. So we are calling next int. What does it do? It tries to read an integer input from the user. So user will input 1, 2, 3, or 4, or maybe some other choice. So whatever the integer input user enters, that will be read and it will be stored in an integer variable by name choice. Okay, so after that, so all these four operations are binary operations. What are binary operations? So any operation that requires two operands are called binary operations. So for example, addition, if you want to add, you need to add two numbers. Subtraction, you need to subtract a number from another number. Multiplication, you need to multiply two numbers. Division, you need to divide one number by another number. So all these operations require two numbers. So they are called binary operations. So since all of them are binary operations, let's take input. Let's take two numbers as input. So in the first line, I'm saying enter the first number, and then what is next double? So double is a data type in Java. For now, let's consider double to be the float in C. Okay, there is a difference between float and double. There is a small difference, but for now, let's consider double to be the float. So I'm trying to read a double value from the user. I'm taking that input and storing it in a double variable num1. Okay, so after taking first number as input, we are taking second number as input, enter the second number, and then again next double and store it in num2. Now we have two numbers, and which operation we need to do, we know. So we need to have a placeholder for the result. So I am declaring a double variable result and initializing it to 0. So now I have a switch case. So what is switch case? So we are creating this switch based on the choice. So whatever the choice value a user has entered here, based on that it gets into the respective cases. So if user has entered 1, it gets into the case 1. If user has entered case 2, it gets into this code. If user has entered 3, it gets into this part of the code. If user has entered 4, it gets into this part of the code. If user has not entered any of these 1, 2, 3, or 4, then it gets into the default part of the switch case. So if user has entered 1, 1 is for addition. So we add those two numbers and store the result, or store the sum in the result. If it is 2, we subtract num2 from num1 and store the result. And if user has entered 3, we need to do multiplication. So num1 into num2 and store the product in result. If user has entered 4, we need to do division. So only in division, we need to check that denominator is not 0. If denominator is 0 and if we try to divide it, there will be divide by 0 error and your program will crash. So in order to avoid that, first we check if num2 is not equals to 0. If it is not equals to 0, then we go ahead and divide num1 by num2. If and store the result. If num2 is 0, we gracefully print error message saying error cannot divide by 0. So look at this return. What does return do? If whenever a return statement is encountered, we move out of the current function. Which is the current function? Current function is main. So we move out of the function. So whenever there is an error case, we will move out of the main. So if we come out of the main, program terminates. So and now here default. What is default? If none of these cases are true, then it comes to the default, which is an error because user need to enter 1, 2, 3 or 4. If user enters 7, 11, 100, so if something beyond 1, 2, 3, 4, then what happens? It comes to the default and we again gracefully print another error message. Invalid choice. Please choose a number between 1 and 4. Okay. And again return because this is a error case. In these two cases, it's an error case. So it immediately the program terminates. So otherwise, if user has entered 1, 2, 3 or 4 and we calculated and stored the result in the variable result, then it comes here and it print and we print the result. Okay, so this is about the program. Now I have stored the program as calculator.java and see where I have stored it. It is somewhere in C users, casework, Google Drive, MC Drive, Java, lab programs. Okay, that's the directory. So now let's get into the command prompt. So I am already in that particular directory. Otherwise, you need to use change dir command to get into that particular directory. Okay, something like this you need to run. So you get into that directory. Now after getting into that directory, run the command dir. So you can see here this particular directory contains only calculator.java. That's the only file that is there in this directory. So now the next part is compile the program. How do we compile? Java C and give the file name, hit enter. It compiled successfully without any errors. If you get any errors, carefully read the error, go back to the notepad or notepad plus plus, fix the error, come back here and again run java c command. So that's how you fix the errors. And once the compilation is successful, run the dir command again. So now observe, we have two files, calculator.java and we also have calculator.class. So what is calculator.class? Calculator.java is our source code, which is a Java language code, and calculator.class is generated by Java compiler. When we compile the program, this got generated and this is our bytecode. So this bytecode is platform independent. Now I'm running this on machine learning. You can email this to your friend and he may be using any other operating system, but he can directly run this because Java bytecode runs on Java virtual machine. So now how do we run this bytecode? There is a tool Java and then just the calculator without any extension. Hit enter. See here, simple calculator. What do you want to do? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So let's do multiplication. I enter 3. Tasks for 2 number 12 and 0.5. So answer should be 6 for me. So result is 6.0. Now all of you just after compiling successfully, just try all these 4 options multiple times and also try a error case. There are 2 error cases, division by 0 and entering some other number than 1, 2, 3 or 4. So now let's give the choice as 9. What happens? It asks for 2 numbers. I give 1, 2. See, look at this, invalid choice. Please choose a number between 1 and 4. It comes down here to the default invalid choice. Please choose a number between 1 and 4. Similarly, try another test case where you hit this particular error and you need to write the output in your observation as well as record. So you need to write total six outputs. One is for addition, then subtraction, multiplication, division, and one which displays division by zero error, another one which displays invalid choice. So these are the six outputs you need to write in the observation as well as in the record.